So this is part 2 of making a walkable character in a game. In part 1 I made a side view walk cycle for a character. In this part I do a similar walk cycle in a slightly different way. I start out with drawing the character in profile. I do this in Fire Alpaca, that is my go-to drawing program. The character will be another Draugr, that is a Viking zombie. I did one in the first part and I will do a different one for this part. In life, this Draugr was a Ulvheden. You might be better acquainted with the Berserker, Bear Shirt. That is a warrior that uses the bear as a symbol to draw strength and battle rage from. The Ulvheden does the same thing, but using the wolf as his symbol. I would suspect that an Ulvheden might well be the type of person to become a Draugr in death. In this case I don't draw all the separate frames. Instead I draw the parts that is going to be animated, and I only draw each part once, and then use the parts to create the animation. The upper body and the head will be one piece. The closest leg could also have been a part of this piece, but in this case I think it works better to have the leg as its own piece. So in this case each leg and arm is its own piece. I will use these 5 pieces to create the walk cycle, a bit like a paper doll. To do this I will move over and use a different program. This program is called OpenToonz. It is a program specifically for animation. This program has a tool that is quite useful for this type of animation. It's called the plastic tool. It makes it possible to bend an image. As long as you don't overdo the bend, it will provide a nice good effect. Bending the arms and legs for a walk cycle is well within the range for this tool to give a good result. This being a zombie-like character, the arms will be stretched out in front of him and not swinging along the side as they would in a normal walk cycle. Making this walk cycle in real time took about 1 hour, which is just about the same time that it took to draw the 6 frames in part 1. Drawing each frame can give a more lifelike effect. With an undead character that is not necessarily an advantage. With more frames, the time advantage will tip over for this paper doll type of animation. Another advantage for this type of animation is that it is possible to tinker around the movements and adjust them, giving a lot of control over the final effect. In this case I have used a 60 frame cycle when animating the character. I only need to make settings for a few keyframes, and the program will adjust the in-between frames. In the end I only render every 10th frame, and those I get my 6 sprites. These frames is not necessarily the keyframes. It is also possible to do some additional drawing, painting on the frames after they have been selected as sprites. Sometimes this is more or less necessary, for example if the bending process in some cases gives a bad result. Okay, so this was part 2. In the next part we will look at walk cycle with the character walking towards or away from the viewer. So, bye for now, and see you later, I hope.